What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the live stream. Whether you join us now live or you're watching this on playback, welcome in. I'm excited to have you here. I appreciate you guys watching, and we have a lot to talk about. Kentucky has put up two really good performances, or at least semi-good performances recently, and there's just a ton. NCAA tournament is coming up. The SEC tournament's coming up. Where are the Cats going to fall in? All of that will all be covered tonight, along with, if you hang around just long enough, we're going to do a giveaway. I told you guys about this about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. You guys got me to 1,000 subscribers. I'm very, very thankful for that. I appreciate all of you guys. So because of that, I promise you guys a giveaway, and we're going to be announcing the winner of that tonight. You guys see here, I got my hat full of names. All the names are in there. We're going to draw one out. We'll mix it up a little bit throughout the night, and then somewhere in the middle of the show, we will draw one out and announce a winner. The winner is going to get a free Wildcat Cave t-shirt, a Kentucky tumbler, some stickers, and I might throw a few more things in there just to show my appreciation to you guys. It really, really does mean a lot that you guys have grown this channel so much. We've gotten to 1,000 subscribers. Let's keep it growing. The next milestone is going to be 1,500, so let's see how fast we can get there. I would love to do it before football season. That would be great. Make sure you're tuning in, you're subscribing. You've got the notification bell turned on. You're watching the videos. You're sharing them with your friends. Get your mom, dad, aunt, uncle, cousin. Get everybody you know to subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoy the content. I'm trying my best to ramp up the videos and ramp up the quality of everything. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. And like I said, we will be doing a giveaway a little later on here on the live stream. But we got a lot to talk about first. There's some huge games in the SEC going on tonight. Kentucky has played two massive games this past week, and it all has huge implications on where does our postseason line up. I think we can all agree that this postseason is extremely critical for Cal and the Cats, and the fans and everybody. It's just been so long since we've had that postseason success. I think this March is going to be the most critical of Cal's career, and the next three games and maybe into the SEC tournament can really determine a lot as far as how much success can we have. There's a big difference between being a 3 seed in the SEC tournament or a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament to a 5, 6, or 7 in either of them. And so far, everything is on the board. Let's see. We got our first comment. What's up, Go Cats? Go Kentucky Wildcats. Yes, sir. Hey, man, how's it going? I'm glad you're here. I don't recognize you on the live stream, so if this is your first one, welcome. Glad to have you guys. So let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. If you guys see me glance over, I'm keeping an eye on the Auburn and Tennessee game. That game, out of all of them tonight, might have the most implications for Kentucky, but we will talk about that later. That game will probably go final while we're on here, and when it does, we'll talk a little bit more about that. So we got to start. What bourbon am I drinking? That right there. Oh, I guess I should do that before we start. Cheers to you guys. This is basic. It's just Woodford. Nothing too cool tonight. My bourbon stores are running a little low. I actually have a couple bottles right here that you can't see. Those are kind of my nicer bottles. So maybe I'll designate one of those to just live streams, and that'll just be the bottle I drink anytime we're here on live. But anyway, let's start talking a little UK basketball. We'll recap this past weekend. Obviously, on Saturday, Alabama came to town, and Kentucky put the smackdown of all smackdowns on Alabama. If you would have told me before going into the game that Alabama was going to shoot 56% from the field, I'm telling you, we're probably losing the game by 15 points. And instead, they shot 56% from the field, and they were down 35 at one point. So that nobody is going to out Kentucky and what they do. And Alabama just happens to play that really similar style to us. And because of that, they didn't have a backup plan. Alabama's the only team in the top 25 with a worse defense, and they just couldn't hang with us. We are what Alabama wants to be, and they just can't do it. And Kentucky showed that the other day. And shout out to the fans at Rupp Arena as well. Another massive crowd. Came out, showed up, even though this team has been really up and down this year. You guys showed up. You made Rupp what it should be every night, and it was an awesome atmosphere for an awesome win. Everybody kind of played their part. Antonio had a big game. Reed had a big game. Or Reed didn't. Reeves had a good game. Rob does what he does. Big Z had a big game. So that was peak Kentucky. That was peak Kentucky offense. That's probably going to be the best offense we see all year out of any game, efficiency wise, scoring wise. We got any shot we wanted to. The shots were falling. So as far as, if you had to draw up a Kentucky offense, that's what you were going to see, like best of the best all season long. Now, defensively, I know they scored 95. And let's see, Big Z officially deserves 18 plus minutes. I think he's really coming around. Big Z's biggest problem has just been out of place, out of position, not great defensively, can't be physical. And when we talk about the Mississippi State game, we'll talk a little bit more about Big Z, but he's definitely earning himself minutes. I think we've seen he might not be the best 7-footer we have right now. I think Ugo probably still is a little bit. But if Z can just keep that consistency and be as physical as he was against Mississippi State every night, then I think you're right. I think he definitely, not only is he going to deserve 18 minutes, he's going to be our primary big playing, 25-ish. It's going to be hard for him to get 30 minutes a game with 3 7-footers that all have, a lot to offer. And Wildcat says, been watching you since last year. I know I don't comment on your videos, but I'm a fan of your channel. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. And I'm, like I said, it's okay if you don't comment. I'm just glad to have you here, and I appreciate you watching. Big Z, he's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be hard to average a ton of minutes with just the amount of players we have. And then if we decide to go small, you can run Trey at the 5. So it's gonna be hard for him to really stack minutes. But he's proven that when he's in, he can be efficient and make an impact on the game. Against Mississippi State, he was plus 22 while only having like 4 points or something. So that's kind of an insane stat line for a guy that doesn't contribute a ton offensively and not really a ton defensively. I think he had like 3 blocks and 2 rebounds or something. So, not a massive game out of him, but he really impacts when he's in there. He helps spread the floor, and we're really off topic trying to talk about Alabama. But yes, I agree. Big Z is slowly earning more minutes in the rotation. Now, anyway, like I was saying, I don't think no one in the country, it doesn't Marquette, Alabama, whoever, no one is going to out Kentucky in what we do. There's not a team in the country that is going to be able to keep up with us in transition. It's just not going to happen. We have too many players, too many scorers. We're too deep, and teams just can't keep up. And I just realized my ticker at the bottom says 1,117. So, close enough. It was kind of almost that many points. But anyway, I don't think our defense was as bad as what, 95 points looks like on paper and 56% from the field looks like on paper. We were up with 8 minutes. It was like 102 to like 70 something with like 8 minutes to go. We're up 35 at home. And honestly, our guys just kind of let go of the rope and gave up like 20 points late in the game in what essentially was garbage time. But shout out to them, man. It seems like even when we get these leads, it's never safe. And we've had problems really putting teams away this year. No matter how big of a lead we or they have, it just seems like this is going to be a team that just either is never going to be put away and also can't necessarily put people away. And they did that against Alabama. And now there's not many teams that's going to play us like Alabama either. There's going to be a much more teams try to slow us down, take us out of our game, make us play in the half court. But overall, if there is a team that we run into in the tournament, like a Marquette, who right now is projected in our region, if they want to run with us, I don't care if we're a 14 seed. Let's go. Let any team in the country try to get up and down with us. If we get 6 games of teams that like to run, we're going to win the championship because none of them can do what we do like we do it. Hey, man, you made it. I'm glad you're here. I know you said you've been struggling to get on these here recently, so I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you, and I will go back and I know you asked me a question on the last video because you didn't think you'd be able to make it. Put that question here in the comments again for me, and we will go over it again because it was a good question. I want to address it while, everybody can see it. But like I said, Kentucky beats Alabama. All's well that ends well there. So now we move on to Mississippi State last night. Huge win, obviously. You go into another T-shirt night in Starkville, sold out crowd. Among all of the court storming things that the national people are talking about, they were poised to do it with 4 minutes left. They put on their jumbotron that no one's allowed to court storm, stay off the court, just assuming they're going to win. Cal claims he didn't see that. I don't believe Cal at all. I definitely think somebody on the staff saw it and pointed it out, and they just used it as fuel, and that's okay. I think he should say, if that's the case, then he should say it. But if use whatever you got to. If you look up and the opposing team saying, "Hey, please don't rush the court because we're going to win," use that as fuel. I think that's exactly what this team did, and it's going to be known as the Reed Sheppard game. I don't know what it is about Mississippi State, but they cannot guard Kentucky players from the state of Kentucky. Dante Allen had the big game when we won down there, and now Reed Sheppard has done the same. If we play there next year and Travis Perry does it, then I think they just need to stop playing anyone from the state of Kentucky. So massive game overall, huge implications. It was a must win for a lot of different things, for a decent seed in the NCAA tournament, to have a chance to avoid a double bye in the SEC tournament. Just massive implications all the way around. Reed hits the buzzer beater, which was awesome. I know he is probably 98% of your all's favorite player. So it was he's the Kentucky kid that grows up in his backyard, just like he said, and practices that shot 3, 2, 1, and and then he got to live that out on the national stage in a sold out road environment with T-shirts and fans and court storming and ESPN primetime. And someone from Starkville said that it was their biggest game in the past 10 years. So just a huge all-around shot, win, performance for Kentucky, and especially Reed Sheppard. He had 32 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, including a block on a three-pointer that potentially kept that lead that they had, because without that block, you can't afford to have the collapse in the last minute that they then had. So all around, man, I know it's frustrating when you struggle the whole game, and they struggled the whole game, and then you finally get the lead. You're up 8 with 50. Oh, knocking stuff over here, guys. You're up 8 with 50 seconds left in the game, and then you choke it away. I mean, the Hubbard dude went absolutely nuclear, just couldn't miss, hit the insane three-pointer to tie it with 8 seconds. And I was just as frustrated as I'm sure many of you guys were, but to walk into an environment like that against a team that plays like that, who's been playing extremely good recently, they've won their last 5 leading up to that. To walk in there, no matter how it looks, and win, that's huge, because that's the type of teams and that's the type of games that you just thought, like, well, first off, that's the type of games you play in the Sweet 16 and in the Elite 8. And if you're Kentucky, maybe in the first 2 rounds also. So it's good to finally get one of those. And that's also just the type of what am I trying to say? That's the type of game where in the past few seasons you lose. We didn't have enough guys to make shots. We didn't have the mentality to do it. Whatever it is you want to say, but we lose that game in the past 3 or 4 seasons. And we could have lost it this year. Easily could have lost it this year. But it's good to finally walk out of one of those with a win, because I don't know let me know in the comment section there how you guys felt. But to me, after being down the whole game, we finally get a lead and we go up, and then it's like, oh, I'm still not comfortable. How are we going to choke this away? And then in the last 50 seconds, we take an 8-point lead and they tie it, and you're just like, oh no, how, like, we can't blow this one too. And then Reed comes down and makes the shot, and that's just a shot that we haven't hit in a long time, and that just felt so good to hit it. Okay. Enough of that rant for now. Let's see. Cal is 20-1 against Mississippi State. Yes, he is. He's only lost once to Mississippi State. Probably the team he has the best record against in the SEC. I can't think of one off the top of my head that he's undefeated against. I know Vandy's beat us. Ole Miss has beat us. So, yeah, that's probably the team we own the most in the Cal area. And that's kind of crazy considering how many good games it produces. When we play Mississippi State, it's an all-timer every time. I mean, you have the Dante Allen game, the Boogie game, The Call Me Boogie game in the regular season. Every time we play Mississippi State, something crazy is happening. So an absolutely insane stat that he's only lost once in his time here. And I really was scared because I thought that we were giving it up there at the end. Let's see. What I was trying to say is I know Coach Cal's a great recruiting, and I know there's no AD. The question is, have we not won the title in 12 years? As frustrated as fan, we need a player like AD that is different makers on both sides of the court. That's my question. Thank you. Go Cats. Yeah. Okay. So I know that, not winning a title since 2012, which is 12 years now, is frustrating to people. But I think I've said this on my last live stream. If you watch it, Kentucky averages a title roughly once a decade. Once every 10 years, Kentucky wins a title, which again is great. But even that number is skewed a little bit because of our first four and then our not 2012, but the two before it. So 48, 49, 51, and 58 are, all within a decade. So we had four in one decade. And then, of course, 96 and 98 being 2 years apart. That really skews the numbers. So while, yes, it is frustrating that we haven't won a title in 12 years, the more frustrating thing is that we haven't been there in, 9 years. So that's the real problem, is that we just haven't been there in 9 years at the Final Four where we're competing and we have a chance. It's always been Elite Eight, Sweet 16, or recently even worse than that. So I think that's the real frustration. Not necessarily, like I said, if Cal, by that, logic, once every 10 years, Cal technically still has 8 more years to win another title and continue that cycle. Now, I know fans don't want to hear that, but that's the truth. If you're going by the numbers, that's what it is. He has 8 more years to win a title before he's outside of the Kentucky norm. Now, I don't think that if we go 8 more years with how we've been, that's not going to cut it. But if we can get Final Fours sprinkled in there, then I think that, that eases a lot of pain. And yes, there is ADs don't grow on trees. Anthony Davis was a generational player, but Cal's had the talent to win. Maybe less so in the past few years, but he has it now. He's had it before. And let's also not write off the 2017 and 2019 teams. 2017, we would have won the title if not for Luke May. And then 1920, the tournament gets canceled. What do you do about that? That team had all the potential to be right there. So let's see. Rob needs to get better at rebounding. I need him to get 10 plus a game. Buddy, if you're betting on Rob Dillingham to get 10 rebounds a game, you, sir, are going to lose a lot of money. Rob is not going to get 10. Bet on him to get 2.5. 2.5 rebounds is good. He's not 7 foot. He's probably the smallest dude on the team. So, don't bet Rob to get 10 rebounds. Bet him to get 10 points, which I did yesterday, and he got 9 and cost me my parlay. But whatever, I guess. The way I look at betting is, number 1, do it for fun. Number 2, don't bet more than you're willing to lose. And number 3, my personal theory, if you're going to bet Kentucky, I go into it betting I don't bet against Kentucky. I always bet overs and for people to score and to win. But if I lose, I look at it would I have paid that amount of money to see Kentucky win? And if the answer is yes, then I'm good. I'm good with losing that money. So don't bet on Rob to get 10 rebounds. It's not going to happen. Let's see. This team is built different. I agree. This team is so much more like that 2017 team or, Cal's early years. They got the dogs. They got the dudes that'll go get theirs and win and fight. I've said it a bunch this year. This team has unbelievable resolve, something we haven't seen since 2019, where they get punched in the mouth and it doesn't matter how much they're down. It's almost like a gift and a curse. These guys are so young and so confident, like we all were at 18 or 19 years old, and they don't register the moment, which can be great. It can be great that just passes them by when they go into places like Auburn or they go to Mississippi State and they go into these road environments or they have the weight of the world on their shoulders. Sometimes you're too young and arrogant to realize it, and that lets you play such a free and loose style, and it leads to a lot of success. But it can also cause some downfalls because no matter how much you're down, you think you can get back, and then you kind of let the games get away from you. So it's a blessing and a curse, but I agree. This team is built different. And with that being said, we got some more comments here, but we'll get to those in a second. I am going to take another drink break, as you all should too if you partake. Ooh, that was a big one. We're not going to do this yet, but we're going to give it a mix. That way everybody's got a fair chance. Try to get some of these unstuck. These are all on the exact same size paper. I folded them the exact same way. 100% equal chance here for everybody. I thought about doing, and you guys tell me if you guys still want to do this. We can go ahead and start now. Would you guys rather just, whenever we decide to do it, draw one name out of the hat, that's your winner, or kind of do like a countdown? Like you draw a name and they're out all the way down to there's 2, and then last man standing wins. If you want to do that, we can start. We can draw a couple out now and eliminate some people, or we can just draw one name here in a little bit and that guy be the winner. A little more fun doing it the other way, but I want to give everybody a chance. I don't want anybody tuning out just because they didn't win. So you guys let me know what you guys want to do. I'll do whichever one. And then let's see. Ace, let's go. Yes, sir. Hey, Kentucky's rolling, man. We're starting to build momentum at the right time. You guys saw the thumbnail. Are we peaking in March? Absolutely. Just like all Cal's teams do. Now, peaking is going to look different for this team. Cal's teams peak defensively usually in March, and then we kind of make up for it on the offensive end. This team, while we are getting better defensively, we're still going to have to keep outscoring people. Each game is going to be a race to 90. If we can hold teams in the 70s or low 80s, great. But we're still going to have to do, what Kentucky does. Let's see. One more question. Why coach doesn't play zone a lot? Is he afraid or not comfortable? Okay. He did play 2 possessions of zone against Mississippi State, which is awesome. That's like 2 more than he normally does in a season. The main reason he doesn't do it is, number one, our guys are almost always, if not always, more athletic and more talented. And the theory is if you play a zone against teams that are already shooting threes against you, because that's what teams do against Kentucky, is shoot the lights out, then going zone is only going to allow more of that to happen and give teams that are worse than you a chance to win. And in general, I agree with that. Now, we were so bad defensively to start the year. I was like, man, throw all the zones at them. It cannot be worse. Now, I think we've seen us step up a little bit defensively, and we don't need to play a zone like we did. Our guards are defending on the perimeter a little bit better, and we don't have to be great defensively, honestly. So there's not a reason to panic and just throw zones out there for the sake of hoping. We're good enough right now defensively to where if we can just get a stop or 2 here or there in man, then there's no reason to change what we're doing because we're still going to score. AB needs more time, more muscle, and more consistent play. He does. But we're out of time. He can't build muscle in a week, and it's running out of time to be consistent. I've read online and I've heard some stuff that he may or may not come back. It's not a sure thing that he's a draft pick right now by any means. So reports are that he's not against coming back to Kentucky. Do I consider it likely? No, not at all, of course. But you never know with these guys, man. NIL's a game changer. If he's not, I know he's affiliated with Clutch and that can help, but it seems like there's at least hope that he, Kentucky can put together an NIL plan for him to come back. And in the past, before you had agents involved, he is the perfect type of dude to come back. Because like you said, if he can just be more consistent and put some muscle on, he has a real chance because he can still dribble. He can still shoot the ball. He's just not big and physical enough yet. And, until one of these guys like him that's at one point the best player in their class and projected this and that, until one of those dudes actually come back, I'm just personally not going to believe it. But we'll see. I would love to have AB back, though, man. This wasn't on the topic list, but let's do it. Let's think about it. DJ, gone. Reed, gone. Rob, gone. Those 3 dudes, no chance they're coming back. Reed, maybe, man. Maybe Reed comes back. It really depends. If he's projected top 18, he's gone, man. I hate that. I want him back. Kentucky could throw the bank at him next year. But if he's guaranteed a spot in the NBA with guaranteed money and stuff, he's gone. And you can't blame the kid. You pat him on the back and say thanks. Like I said, DJ's gone, Rob's gone for sure. Antonio graduates, Trey Mitchell graduates. So best of luck to them next year. I think, Antonio has a real shot to play in the NBA now, so that's awesome. Then we have Adu, probably the most likely player to be back. And then you have Z, who right now probably is gone, but I would call it like 65-35 gone. And then you have AB, who is 50-50, not sure one way or another, probably gone, but not assuredly gone. And then you have Ugo, who I don't think goes to the NBA, even though he was in a mock draft. Probably doesn't go to the NBA. I still don't think he's ready. I don't think a team's going to take that sort of chance just yet. But could transfer. I know he tried to, his handler, whatever you want to call it, wanted him to transfer last year. Kentucky talked him into staying. And look how big he's been for us. If he can stay another year and grow more with his game, then I think that's going to be huge. And then, I know I'm missing people. Justin Edwards, apparently like Bradshaw, not 100% sure that he's, going to go if something's not guaranteed for him. There's whispers that he might consider coming back, and he's not completely against the idea. So hopefully, but yeah, that's kind of my way too early predictions on who stays and goes. It looks like a lot of you guys are saying you want to do the elimination game of pulling names. So we can absolutely do that. I'll give you guys, let's see, we got a couple minutes till we hit the 30-minute mark. Keep commenting. I don't know, is it on this side for you guys or this side, the comments? Wherever it is, put it there. If you want to do the elimination game where it's last man standing, say that. Or if you just want to do a single winner, put that in the comments. Like I said, I'll give you another 2 or 3 minutes. And when we hit the 30-minute mark, if it's start pulling names, we'll do it. So anyway, we beat Alabama. We beat Mississippi State. We're building momentum, and Kentucky is peaking. We're playing better on both sides of the ball, literally just in the nick of time. Like at the normally Cal teams you start to see this progression like mid to late January, and this one took mid to late February, and that's okay. AFO, the elimination game. I don't know if you are entered. I don't remember, but I have a hat here full of names of people that entered the giveaway contest in my last video. So we can either do it one of two ways. We can draw a single name out of the hat, and that is our winner, or we draw names out until there's only one left, and the one left is our winner. So whether you're entered or not, it could be good entertainment. Whichever you guys want to do, I'm completely okay with. You still have about 1.5 minutes to vote. Let's see. Miles' voice says the zone slows down the pace. It's okay to play zone occasionally, but Kentucky is a running team. That's another thing, too. You can only play zone in a half court. It's hard to play zone on the run. So for a team that likes to run, hard to play zone. Kentucky Blue, 69-69. Yeah, I actually have the game on right here behind you guys. And it is currently 73-70 Tennessee, and they're at the free throw lines that Kai Ziegler is, with 7 minutes left. So we'll keep an eye on that game. Like I said, that should go final while we're on here. And when it does, we'll talk about it and the implications it has on the SEC tournament and all that stuff. So, all right, guys, 1 minute to vote. As of right now, elimination game is winning. So if that's what you guys want to do, I'm cool with it. But if not, make sure your voice is heard. I've been a Cats fan since 92. Which team do you take head-to-head in a matchup? If you're talking like Kentucky team since 92 versus this team in a head-to-head matchup, I think the answer is obvious. You have to pick the 96 team. That's going to be your most fun, the most electric, 150 to 155 type of score. It's going to be up and down. There's going to be threes. It's going to be no defense, kind of like the NBA All-Star game. But that's definitely, if you're talking Kentucky teams, that's the one you definitely want to see match up against this team. All right. We're halfway. Cheers. And it looks like we're doing the elimination game. So we'll take a drink. Let's see. We'll go about an hour. So we got about another 30 minutes left. I think there's 16 names in there. How you guys want to do? You want to do 4 rounds of 4 names at a time? I think that sounds good. All right, we'll do 4 rounds of 4 names. So if you guys remember, you guys got me to 1,000 subscribers. I promised you a giveaway, so I appreciate you guys. It means the world to me, and because of that, we're doing a giveaway. So let's see who is the first loser here tonight. First person out. You guys probably can't read that. The Great Kentuckian. Stinks, man. It stinks that you're the first one out. I don't know if you're on here tonight, but I know you'll see this video. You've been around from the beginning. So as one of the OG people, it sucks that you're the first person out. So I hate that for you, man. I'm sorry. All right. Next name. Russ. Russ, 1 out. All right. Yeah, I know. I see the comment where he's always on here, and he is, and he's not tonight, which might be a good thing for him because that's a hard way to go first out. Up next, Jason Simpson, out of here. And the last one for this round, and we'll keep going with some UK stuff. Oh, I know you're on here. Christopher Reese, out. Sorry, man. That stinks. I really am hoping somebody that's live on here wins because that'd be much cooler. In the first round, we get an OG and the one dude that's actually in the comments right now. So that sucks, man. That's all right. All fun and games. All's well that ends well. We're having a good time. I know you guys are subscribed, and again, it really means the world to me, and I appreciate you guys. Like I say, keep telling your friends, keep sharing the videos, all of that fun stuff. It means a lot. I love how much the channel's grown. You guys are great fans. I really enjoy every interaction with stuff like this. So, keep it growing, and we're going to keep having a good time with it. We'll talk a little more, and we'll draw out the second round of names. All right. So, let's see what's next. Also, while we're kind of here at this halfway mark, I know a lot of you guys were in it last year. This coming March, obviously, we're going to do another bracket challenge, and we'll do some sort of giveaway for it too. I don't know what it'll be, but we'll do something for it. We'll come up with a prize or whatever, and I'll announce it. I'll talk about it in all the videos leading up to it. But obviously, the bracket is going to come out on Selection Sunday. By the time that bracket is released on the ESPN Tournament Challenge app, I will have posted the name of the tournament. It'll be open to enter. I don't know how many brackets I'm going to let everybody have right now. I think last year we had 3 per person. I might limit that to 2 this year, where you just have your main bracket and an upset bracket or something, or your main bracket and a Kentucky winning bracket. But whatever we do, I hope you guys will join it. It'll be really fun. Again, I'll make all sorts of posts and TikToks and whatever shorts on here about it. I'll post on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, you need to go do that right after this ends. My handle on there is Wildcat Cave BBN. No spaces. Just type that in. You'll find it. Same logo that's here on the channel. You can't miss it. So make sure you follow me there. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me here. Obviously, if you're not already, please do that. Follow me on TikTok. It's Wildcat Cave on there as well, as you could guess. So follow me on all the social medias. Plenty of stuff to go around. Get all the UK content your little heart can handle. So we will now move on into some SEC stuff. Like we said, we got Auburn, Tennessee playing. Tennessee's up 3 with 4.5 minutes. So good game there. Still a chance. Auburn got out to a decent little lead there and blew it. So right now, as it stands, Tennessee is the number 1 ranked team. Alabama is number 2, both at 11-3. Then you have South Carolina and Auburn, both at 10-4. And then you have us in Florida, both at 10-5. So really, we are only a half a game out of 3rd place. We are right there. It would take a little bit of a collapse from some teams, but the idea of us getting a share or the sole regular season SEC title is still right there. Like I said, it would take Tennessee and Alabama losing some games, but I'm about to read their schedule off to you guys and tell me where the guaranteed win is in some of these. So we'll start with Tennessee, who's obviously playing Auburn right now. The problem with this game is it puts us, the Kentucky fan, in a little bit of a predicament here. Because if Tennessee wins, that really helps our chances getting the double bye in Nashville for the SEC tournament. Right now, we're the 5 seed. To get the double bye, you got to be a 4 or better. And we have the tiebreaker on Auburn. So that would knock Auburn to the same record we have, but we have the tiebreaker, so we jump them. So them, Auburn losing this game against Tennessee right now would be big for us in that regard. But if we want to win the SEC regular season, not just the tournament, if we don't care about the double bye in the tournament, we just want to win the regular season SEC title, then we need to pull for Auburn because Tennessee's in first, and that would get them a game closer to us, and then we still play them. So what do you guys think? Who are you pulling for? Are you pulling for Tennessee to beat Auburn and give us that double bye? Or are you pulling for Auburn to beat Tennessee and still give us an outside chance at the SEC championship for the regular season? I'll tell you, for me personally, I would want Tennessee to win. Even if they don't, and the cards fall the right way, it's not a guarantee we're winning the SEC regular season. But I would much rather have that double bye because I think we can win the SEC tournament. That double bye is huge. Not many teams win coming from Thursday down in Nashville, which, by the way, guys, I might be going to Nashville. It's not set in stone yet, but I have the weekend off. I may be going to Nashville for the SEC tournament. So if you guys want content down there, let me know because I think that'd be something super cool. I've never got to go to the SEC tournament before. So I'm going to be super excited if I get to go. And let me know if you guys want like vlog style content or what, just maybe some YouTube shorts put out here and there. I think it'd be really cool. And then let's see, me as Cat fans, worst tournament loss is West Virginia in the Elite Eight. Oh, that's not the worst, man. St. Peter's, Wisconsin is worse. Okay, Tennessee's up by 2, and probably better for us if the Vols win because Auburn's remaining schedule is ridiculously easy. Yeah, it is. So let's talk about it. Okay, so back to Tennessee. 11-3 in the SEC. They're playing Auburn right now. And then Tennessee probably has the hardest schedule remaining, which is also good for us. So if they lose, it's not crazy that they keep losing. Like I said, they play Auburn. They could lose tonight. Their next game is at Alabama. They could lose that game. After that, it's at South Carolina. They could lose that game. And then their final game is we come to town, and they could definitely lose that game. So out of all the top 6 SEC teams remaining, Tennessee by far has the hardest schedule, which is great for us. I don't want to say this and then have to eat my words, but I almost think it's a guarantee that they don't win all 4 of those. And there's a good chance they lose 2. So, whether that's tonight and us or Alabama and South, whatever the combination is, I think there's a good chance they lose at least one of those games, if not 2. And if that's the case, then we are right there and we have a chance to make some real noise in the SEC. Then you have Alabama, also at 11-3, who we own the tiebreaker with. And their schedule is at Ole Miss, who I think is playing right now or is about to play. Then, like I said, they have Tennessee at home. Then it's at Florida in a game they could lose. They almost lost to Florida at home in overtime and pulled it out at the end and got the win. So they could definitely go to the Swamp and lose. And then Arkansas at home, which should be an easy win for them. So, Alabama has really 2 losable games. Now, the thing about Alabama is you just kind of never know what you're getting at them. It's kind of feast or famine with them, even though they play really well the past couple seasons. But just one bad shooting night, and they're going to lose by 15 to anybody. So, Tennessee has 0 guaranteed wins on their schedule for the last 4 games. Alabama has 2, could probably go 2-2, something like that. And then you have South Carolina, who has a ridiculously easy schedule. They're at Texas A&M tonight, which they could lose because I don't think South Carolina is great. They could lose that game. And then they have Florida at home, Tennessee at home. Both are losable, of course. Yeah. And then they finish their season at Mississippi State. So if you're South Carolina, it's an easy schedule, but it's not one you just get to take a night off like an Arkansas or a Vanderbilt. So, right now, I don't know, man. I want to say that South Carolina out of the top 3 has the easiest schedule, but I just don't really know that South Carolina is as good as their record shows. So Tennessee has 4 out of 4 losable games. I think Alabama has 2 out of 4. South Carolina has 4 out of 4 losable games. Auburn obviously could lose tonight against Tennessee. Then they have Mississippi State at home, which they should be much better than, and they are much better than, but that's losable depending on how Mississippi State plays. Then they finish their season at Mizzou and Georgia at home. So Auburn has a pretty easy schedule after tonight. I think they have 2 losable games and 2 they probably shouldn't lose. And then you have us, Kentucky down in 5th with 3 games left in the season. Arkansas Saturday, Vanderbilt next week, I believe Wednesday, and Tennessee the following Saturday. So Kentucky has, in my opinion, 1 losable game out of 3 and 2 that you should absolutely have no problem. They're both at home, Arkansas and Vanderbilt. They're 2 of the worst teams in the SEC. So we should steamroll those 2 and then go into Tennessee, depending on how the rest of it plays out, with a chance maybe at a 2-3-1 seed in the SEC, but the SEC's in regular season title. It all depends on really what Tennessee and Alabama do. But we definitely have the easiest schedule left, which is great for us. I know 5 losses in the SEC isn't what we want. It's not, acceptable, whatever you want to call it. But for where we're at right now, we're in an okay spot compared to kind of probably where we thought we'd be with some of the losses we took. And then Florida, who we own the tiebreaker with, but has the same record as us, they play Mizzou, should be a win. At South Carolina is going to be a tough game. Alabama at home for them is going to be a tough game. And then at Vandy should be a win, barring some crazy, meltdown. Vandy pulls one out every now and then. Just don't let it be against you, Florida. So overall, Florida has a chance to go 2-2. So just looking at all these schedules, man, it's going to be a crazy finish. There's too many good teams that play each other, besides us, thank goodness, that for anybody to know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? We could go as high as 1. Now, the good thing is, I don't think we can really – we're 5 right now. I don't think it's possible for us to go below 6. I think Mississippi State is 7th in the SEC, and they're 2 games back. And as long as we take care of Vanderbilt and Arkansas at home, which we should with no issues, then I think we're okay there. It's literally impossible not to be. As long as we take care of business in those 2, then we go to Tennessee just really for final seeding. And we want to rack up another quad 1. And if we beat them, maybe it jumps us up to 2-1 somewhere, top 3 probably in the SEC, maybe a seed line in the NCAA tournament. So that's kind of where we're at there. We'll pause here. We'll finish. We'll take another drink and draw some more names, and we'll keep talking tournament seeding. All right. Next 4 people out. Mix these bad boys up a little bit. Make sure none of them are stuck together. All right. Next 4 people out. Kurt, you're out. I don't know if you're on here tonight, sir, but you are out. AFIO, while we're drawing names, let's see. Mr. Cave, this is off topic, but do you have a preference between Big Z and Ugo? We touched on this earlier. I don't know if you were in yet. Depends on the game. If it's an up and down game like Alabama, then I definitely prefer Z. When defense is at a premium, I prefer Ugo. However, I think Z's coming around, and like I said, we talked about this earlier, so go back and listen. I think if Z can, wrap his head around some things and stop getting lost and stop committing silly fouls and, just tightens up a little bit, gets tougher. He was really tough against Mississippi State. Now, he still got abused by Tolu Smith. But if he can just get a little tougher and a little stronger in the paint, then I think Z's our best big. And I don't really think it's close because he can do so much on the offensive end and pull defenders out that it opens us up so much. So if Z had been with the team all year and was able to play all year, then I think the answer is Z. Right now, I lean Ugo, but not by a bunch. I mean, I could be talked into Z pretty easy. All right. Got 3 more names. Next one, Two Peaks. I know you're on quite a bit of the videos. I don't know if you're here tonight. I'm sure you'll be in the comments, though. If not right now, after. I appreciate your subscription. I hope nobody unsubscribes because you didn't win the giveaway. I still appreciate you guys, and I'm still going to do more stuff for you in the future and give you more chances. So 2 more. Eric Adams, out. And then last one for right now. I haven't seen many of your all's names get out of here yet, so that's a good thing for you guys. Tammy Cooper. All right, so I know at least 3 or 4 of you guys that are in the chat right now are still in there. So that's good. I'm glad. Like I said, I want someone that's in the chat right now to win this thing. That would be way more fun and cool to me if you guys are in the chat and we can celebrate a little bit. All right. So let's get back to it. Like I said, we have right now we're 5 seed in the SEC tournament. We're playing on Thursday. But the schedule is about to shake up for everybody above us. There's definitely losses to be had out there. So as long as we do what we need to do, beat Arkansas and Vanderbilt, you go into Tennessee kind of controlling your own destiny. Where exactly that destiny is just kind of depends on everybody else. But there's going to be teams above us take some losses, mainly because they play each other for no other reason. Forget if they're good or bad or whatever. But just because they play each other, these guys are taking losses. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what position we're playing Tennessee for. But we're going to be playing them it's going to be a significant game in Knoxville. So let's talk NCAA tournament. Can we get to a 3 seed? Here is where we're at right now. I know I don't have a graphic to put up on the screen to show you guys this. But as of today, here is Joe Lunardi's bracketology. Your 1 seeds in no particular order. Purdue, Arizona, UConn, and Houston. Predictable, not surprised. Number 2 seeds. Marquette, Iowa State, UNC, Tennessee. What do you say about them? They're all good teams. I guess Iowa State might be the shock there. They're a good physical team. 3 seeds. Kansas falls to a 3 after their loss to BYU. Alabama, Baylor, and Duke. Duke's been on the 3 seed line all year. Alabama's been right around there. Baylor's playing okay. So those are your 3s. And then 4s. With the win at Mississippi State and against Alabama, Kentucky moves into the 4 seed category, which is massive. Being a 4 seed, it's going to suck playing that 1 seed, but we'll talk about it in just a second. Playing that 1 seed is going to suck in the Sweet 16, but I'm not scared of any of them. We can beat them all. And then you also have San Diego State, Auburn, and Creighton. So that is your top 16 seeds, specifically for Kentucky's bracket, according to Joe Lunardi. Our 1 seed is Purdue, our 2 seed is Marquette, and our 3 seed is Kansas. So kind of a gauntlet. But let me break it down just a little bit more for you. First off, Marquette and Kansas are going to be in the bottom half of the bracket. You wouldn't play either of those, assuming a 2 or 3 makes it out of the bottom and there's not an upset. You don't play those guys until the Elite 8. So once you're in the Elite 8, you kind of get what you get, and you go and you beat them. That's just what you do. So I wouldn't love playing Kansas again, but I'm not scared of Kansas. I think we can beat them. Marquette plays similar to how we play, except like I said, we do it better. So I'm not really scared of Marquette either. Now, they play better defense than we do, but as long as we can score, they like to run. And we like to run, so that doesn't bother me. All right, let's see. Yes, we absolutely have a hope of getting a 3 seed. Purdue is overrated, and Ole Miss. All right. So, assuming, Joey Brackets is good at his job, and this is an accurate prediction, here's our path to a Final Four. Round number 1, you get a 4-13 matchup. So right now, your 13 seeds are teams like UC Irvine, Vermont, Appalachian State, Akron, we should have no problems with any of those teams. Now, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to go on record and say that, because a team like that can, has, and will beat us if I do. So it's going to be, regardless of the name, whoever it is going to be a decent mid-major, and they're going to come out and they're going to give you their best shot. Now, should you beat them? Yes. Should you beat them by 30? Probably. Will you? Maybe not. But we should have a comfortable first round projected right now, kind of where we are. You want to avoid that 5-12 matchup. And, of course, anything lower than that, they have a real chance to beat you. So stay in the top 4, take care of business. If we can win the next 2 games, win or lose to Tennessee doesn't matter, and then win a game, maybe 2 in the SEC tournament, and we are locked into a 4 seed. Then if you get past the first round in the round of 32, you would play a 5 seed. Right now, your 5 seeds are Clemson, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Washington State. Again, no names in there that are world beaters. Clemson, they have one good player. Nothing, doesn't freak you out or nothing. Illinois has Terrence Shannon Jr. Again, one good player, good team, but not. They don't have more talent than you. You should beat a team like that. Wisconsin, that gives me a little PTSD, but I'd take it. I'd get some redemption. We can do it. We're a better team than Wisconsin. We can handle that. And it'd be good to kind of get that demon off our chest. It'd be a good storybook ending. And then Washington State, honestly, I don't know anything about them, but we'll call them the same as the rest of them. And right now, Tennessee beats Auburn. So Auburn is going to drop to 10-5, which is the same record Kentucky has, and we own the tiebreaker. So right now, before anything else goes final, this second, Kentucky should be the 4 seed in the SEC and not have to play on Thursday. If the season ended now, we would not be playing on Thursday. So breaking news, Kentucky is moving up literally as we speak, and that's an awesome thing. So shout out. Never mind. I'm not saying that. Not out loud. But thank you, Auburn, for losing. Like I said, probably hurts our chances a little bit to win the SEC outright in the regular season, but definitely helps us in the SEC tournament. So that's really good. Let's see. I don't think a team will outplay Kentucky. If Kentucky doesn't make a Final Four, then it's because they beat themselves and they played like poop. Probably so. I think if we win at Tennessee, which is possible, and then we win a game or 2 in the Nashville, of course, win the SEC tournament, we get a 3. I don't think we have to win the SEC tournament to get a 3 seed. Now, will it take a 3 seed? Probably lose it a little bit? Probably. I don't know what any of the other teams' schedules look like. Alabama has a decently hard schedule, and if they have an early exit from the SEC tournament, maybe we jump them. Duke isn't great, so we could beat, Duke could lose a game or 2. I don't think they play UNC the second time. Kansas could lose a game. So there's still 4 games maybe, but there's a lot of season left still to shake all this up. But I think a 3 seed is absolutely in play. And if you run the table, if you beat the last 3 teams on your schedule and win the SEC tournament, you might be flirting with it too, which is crazy. But like teams like 7 through like 20 right now all have 6 to 8 losses. So we're really splitting hairs here. And we should move up in the rankings with Auburn losing, and we absolutely will. But anyway, so like I said, our path right now to a Final Four is 13-5, and then you play your 1 seed. As a 4, you play your 1 in the Sweet 16. Again, not ideal. Better to be a 2 seed or 3 seed and play them later on. But I don't want to play UConn. I don't want to play Houston. But no one else really kind of scares me. And those teams don't scare me. They're just really good. But right now we got Purdue. And I'm telling you, we all know Purdue is a bunch of frauds. And making Zach Edey run up and down the court, he can't hang with our guards, man. You put Big Z out there, Edey's going to go for 40 and 20, but their guards aren't that good. Our guards would eat them alive. Like Rob and DJ and Reed and Antonio would go berserk on those dudes. Like it would be a bloodbath at the guard position. Now they are going to kill us down low. Edey's either scoring or rebounding every possession. It's just what it is. But I don't think he's good enough to beat us by himself, which is what he would essentially have to do. Let's see. We just need to win out. Tennessee needs to lose twice. Alabama needs to lose twice. And South Carolina needs to lose twice. If all that happens, the Kentucky Wildcats are. I don't know that South Carolina needs. South Carolina, well, they do have the tiebreaker on us, so you're right, I guess. Yeah, that sucks. We would need a lot of help. So in the grand scheme of things, it's probably better that Tennessee won. But it's early, but Alabama is not scoring against Ole Miss, and they can lose. They're down 13-19 with 12 minutes in the first half. And they're shooting technicals. That game could get out of hand if Alabama's not careful, which would be huge for Kentucky. So who knows? I mean, that game's not going to go final while we're on here. By the end of the night, Kentucky, if Ole Miss pulls this out, Kentucky could be in a really good spot. I don't have the South Carolina game in front of me, but okay, well, thank you. Put it up right as I said it. 32-29 South Carolina at the half. So they're at Texas A&M. Anything can happen there, man. I'm telling you, let Alabama and South Carolina also lose tonight and watch us end up the second overall team in it. That would be nuts. That's nuts, man. Anyway, back to the NCAA tournament. Actually, it's a good time to pause and draw some names. We're getting close to the end here. 4 more names, ladies and gents. There should be 8 left in here, and we're taking out half right now. Andrew Cook. I know you've been on a couple of these. Appreciate you subscribing. Appreciate you being a fan and commenting and everything. But you ain't winning this one. All right, let's see. Another person that I don't think's here tonight. Hemot2336. If you're here, I haven't seen you. I hope you're here. But I haven't seen you yet. So we still have some people in the chat that's in this thing. That's awesome. Next one. Brett, you're out. You lost, buddy. You already got a t-shirt, though. You didn't need it. All right. And lastly, Glenn Woodford, no frills for shills. Out. So that leaves 4 people left that can win this thing. And I know maybe 2 or 3 of you guys are in the chat right now. If you're still in it, if you guys commented on my last video, drop it in there right now if you're still in the contest. We'll see who's still in it. Anyway, so yeah, man. And then, like I said, you play it if you get past your 1 seed with Purdue, Arizona, UConn, Houston, whoever it is, hopefully Purdue. If you get past them in the Elite 8, or I'm sorry, Sweet 16, in the Elite 8, you're going to play a 2. I mean, you could play a 3 seed, of course, depending on who comes out of it. But let's just assume it's chalk and it's a 2 seed. You're playing Marquette, who, again, if it's Marquette, not scared of them. They're going to want to run with us, and they're not going to be able to. Iowa State might be a sneaky, underrated matchup. That's going to be like playing Mississippi State, like a better version of Mississippi State again. Physical, slow it down, beat you up, grind it out type of game. So I prefer to avoid Iowa State, but again, we beat Mississippi State, so why can't we beat them? Yeah, I know. Yeah, it would be nice to have Purdue if they lose to a 16. I don't think they will lose to a 16 again. That's kind of crazy. But could you imagine if they did? And then in the Sweet 16, we play like a 16 seed, or like, who would they even, like an 8 in the Sweet? That'd be great. That would be awesome. What's the most dangerous thing for this team come March, y'all? I think a cold shooting night, but you mean physical teams and turning a lax foul call. Yeah, I definitely think it's the latter of the two. I'm not worried about a cold shooting night. We have too many guys. I don't think you're going to find a night, because just think about it. If Reeves has a bad night, if Reeves doesn't shoot well, Reed just went for 30. Rob has went for 25 multiple times. He's went for 30 once. DJ's went for like 25. Trey's gone for 20. Cal always says during the regular season what he wants is to win 6 straight games so that his team knows that they have it in them to put a streak together. And number 2, to have 5 guys score 20 plus. Well, we've blown that out of the water. We've had 3 score 30. And I think we've had like 6 or 7 score 20. And then you have like Z, Adu, and Ugo, all with like 18 as their season high or something. So scoring is not going to be the problem in March, especially March becomes a guard game. I'm much more worried about a big physical team that can really play defense. That's much more what I'm worried about than scoring. And then Athir says, if I win, how do I get my gift? All right, that's probably a good time to announce it. If you win, the way to get your gift is you will email me at wildcatcave@gmail.com. Very simple. Name of the channel @gmail.com. You'll email me your name, your mailing address, and your t-shirt size. And then I'll get it all together and I'll just ship it straight to you, completely free of charge to you, of course. So that will be how you get your prize should you win. And I know you are also entered, so you're still in it. You're one of them. All right. Well, guys, we've hit the 1 hour mark. I appreciate everybody being on here. So what do you guys say we wrap up this this giveaway here? We'll do a little conclusion, and then we'll all be off to a good night. All right. In 4th place, we have Michael Miles. I don't know if that's you in the comment, Miles. I know there's a guy on here. His name has Miles in it. I don't know if it's the same person or not. If it is, I'm sorry. Thank you for being on here. That's awesome. And then number 8, Iowa State is in a close one with Oklahoma right now. Ooh, I saw that they were playing tonight, but I kind of thought Iowa State would just beat them. If Iowa State loses, I don't know that they're great. They might lose early in the Big Ten. Then they might drop a seed line and help us out. All right. Scott Campbell. Scott Campbell is out. We are down to 2 names. Oh, Miles, that was you. Dang, man. That stinks. But that means Athir, you're in the top 2. You finally made it to a live stream, and it might be the one you win. All right. Let's see. The first runner-up, the last loser. Oh, that's brutal, Athir. It's you. Oh, no. That is brutal, man. Who is the winner? Oh, no, you know what it is, too. Oh, my goodness. Cedric Billingsley. Cedric Billingsley, 9908. You won. And, guys, if you don't know this, his comment was something like the Kentucky Wildcats. It was like not even like a positive comment. Oh, no. I don't even know if he's a Kentucky fan. Oh, he might not see the video, though. If he doesn't see the video, just so you know, Cedric, like I said, email me wildcatcave@gmail. Send me your email. Give me your address, your shirt size, and all that stuff. You have until Kentucky's game on Saturday. If I don't get an email by the time Kentucky tips off on Saturday against Arkansas, which I believe is like it's an early tip, I think. It's like a 1:30 tip. So, Cedric, email me. If you don't email me by then, we will go to our 2nd place guy, who is, of course, Athir. So, let me, Athir, I'll keep in contact with you. If he doesn't get a hold of me, I'll reach out to you in a comment or something on here, or just tune into the next video, and I'll let you know. So, congratulations, Cedric, even though you had oh, man, that was like the one dude that had the bad comment. Like, let the one dude that leaves a mean comment wins, of course. The nice guys never win. But that's okay. I still appreciate him interacting, being a part of the channel. So that's, I still appreciate the community and the subscriptions and all that stuff. But Athir, if he doesn't email me, then you will be the winner, and I'll get in contact with you, or you can get in contact with me on here. You know how to reach me, of course, on the comments. I'll see it. But guys, another great live stream, another fun one in the books. I'm glad we had a ton of comments, a bunch of people watching all throughout the night. So I really appreciate you guys. like I said, be on the lookout for all the information about the bracket challenge we're going to do. Selection Sunday is St. Patrick's Day, the 17th. So as soon as that bracket comes out, you will be able to get on there and enter and start building your brackets, and we'll do a challenge and we'll do a giveaway for that. Like I said, I might be in Nashville for the SEC tournament. I'll have content for that coming out. We'll have another live stream probably before the NCAA tournament. It's going to be really fun, guys. This is the best time of the year to subscribe to the channel. So if you're not already, do it. There's going to be videos and shorts and TikToks and tweets. So follow me everywhere. Of course, as soon as we stop here, subscribe to the channel, notification bell, like, comment, share, all that stuff YouTubers say. And then, of course, follow me on TikTok at Wildcat Cave. Follow me on Twitter, Wildcat Cave BBN. Follow me here. Follow me everywhere. I appreciate you guys. You guys have been great tonight. Thank you guys for joining me. We're going to win the SEC. We're going to win the SEC tournament. We're beating the piss out of Arkansas and Vanderbilt. And, of course, Tennessee. I'll have a video out next week. I don't know what it's going to be about. We'll see how the weekend goes. But it'll probably be out mid to late next week before the Tennessee game. I will see you guys then. I appreciate you guys. Keep subscribing. Keep growing the channel. And go Cats.